Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Glad to see you here. And this morning we'll be continuing a discussion of the song of the Grass Hut Hermitage, a poem written by Chiteau in the 8th century in China, but very contemporary in many ways. And we'll finish with the last stanza of that, as the stanzas are divided up in Dan Layton's and Kaz Tanahashi's translation. But so that I don't forget, I do want to remind everyone that next week we'll have a guest speaker, and that will be Paula Lazars, who is a teacher from Ancient Dragon Zen Gate in Chicago. Actually, Dan Layton, who translated the poem that we're studying, is the abbot at that Zen facility. So she's going to be talking about skillful means. So I urge you to attend next week so you can benefit from her teaching. Following that, we'll probably address a couple requests for topics, and one of them had to do with grief, and another one with meditation. Am I doing this right? So we'll take those in some order subsequently. But today we'll finish up with the Grass Hut. And when I say finish up, this is a poem you can come back to again and again and again. But we'll leave it alone for a while after today. So I'm going to read the whole poem once again, just to, again, repetition just helps with understanding, and also to give the stanza we're going to be looking at appropriate context. I've built a grass hut where there's nothing of value. After eating, I relax and enjoy a nap. When it was completed, fresh weeds appeared. Now it's been lived in, covered by weeds. The person in the hut lives here calmly, not stuck to inside, outside, or in between. Places worldly people live, he doesn't live. Realms worldly people love, he doesn't love. Though the hut is small, it includes the entire world. In 10 feet square, an old man illumines forms and their nature. A great vehicle Bodhisattva trusts without doubt. The middling or lowly can't help wondering, will this hut perish or not? Perishable or not, the original master is present, not dwelling south or north, east or west, firmly based on steadiness. It can't be surpassed. A shining window below the green pines, jade palaces or vermilion towers can't compare with it. Just sitting, with head covered, all things are at rest. Thus, this mountain monk doesn't understand at all. Living here, he no longer works to get free. Who would proudly arrange seats trying to entice guests? Turn around the light to shine within, then just return. The vast, inconceivable source can't be faced or turned away from. Meet the ancestral teachers. Be familiar with their instruction. Bind grasses to build a hut, and don't give up. Let go of hundreds of years and relax completely. Open your hands and walk, innocent. Thousands of words, myriad interpretations, are only to free you from obstructions. If you want to know the undying person in the hut, don't separate from this skin bag here and now. So we'll focus today on this final stanza. Let go of hundreds of years and relax completely. Open your hands and walk, innocent. Thousands of words, myriad interpretations are only to free you from obstructions. If you want to know the undying person in the hut, don't separate from this skin bag here and now. Another translation of this section is a little freer. Let it go, release, and your life of 100 years vanishes. Open your hands, walk around, innocence. The swarm of words and little stories are just to loosen you from where you are stuck. If you want to know the one in the Hermitage who never dies, you can't avoid this skin bag right here. So let go of hundreds of years and relax completely. The theme of relaxing comes up at least 3 times during this short poem. After eating, I relax and enjoy a nap. Just sitting with head covered, all things are at rest. So there's a theme of relaxing, of not being so tight. Relaxing and letting go are closely associated. And relaxation is really essential for the development of any skill, I think. Certainly, if you're an athlete, it's important to learn how to relax. When you can do these amazing things and make it look easy, that's due to relaxation, being relaxed. If one is tense, it just interferes with the flow of action. If you're playing a musical instrument, regardless of what instrument it is, it's one of the most important and perhaps one of the hardest things to learn is to relax while playing, because the tension transmits into the sound and interferes with the beauty of it. Letting go of hundreds of years or letting go of 100 years, there are different interpretations on this. Letting go of our notion of a lifespan, of being born, living, and dying. Letting go of our notion of a legacy. letting go of our past in certain respects, stopping karma, relaxing into the still present, letting go of expectations, societal expectations, our residual parental expectations, letting go of our own expectations that we have accumulated over the years. Opening your hands. The gesture of an open hand suggests a number of things. One is friendliness. An open hand is friendly. A fisted hand is threatening. An open hand can receive things. A fisted hand can push things away. And when you wave at somebody with an open hand, you're demonstrating to them that you don't have a weapon in that hand, that you're not intending to use your hand as a weapon. That we're safe here. And ready to receive one another. Opening your hands and walk innocent. Now, the innocent can have kind of at least two shades of meaning in English. And many, at least a couple of the translators have used that exact word, so it must be a reasonable translation from the medieval Chinese. But innocent in English can mean just naive and not streetwise, innocent. It can be a little disparaging. But I think what's intended here is more the original etymologic meaning of innocent, non-harming, non-nocere. Walking innocent, without harm, with an open hand. Thousands of words, myriad interpretations. It's sometimes considered ironic that the literature of Mahayana Buddhism is so voluminous that no one could possibly absorb it. Even if you could read all the untranslated texts that are out there, it's just too much. And yet, again and again, we're instructed that the truth is beyond words and concepts. But here, Shuto is saying thousands of words, myriad interpretations are only to free you from obstructions. Ordinarily, when we read something, it's because we want to acquire something. We want to acquire some knowledge. We want to take something in. But Chateau is saying this literature is best understood as something to help us let things go. Letting go of hundreds of years. Opening the hand and releasing. To free you from obstructions. The concepts that often get in our way. The concepts that we have absorbed from our society, for instance. Concepts of race and age and gender. Concepts of high and low. Concepts of rich and poor. Concepts of too much and concepts of not enough. Concepts of adequate or inadequate. Of important or insignificant. So these writings are to help us not gain things, but lose things. To let loose of things. If you want to know the undying person in the hut, this person remains mysterious throughout the poem. We can perhaps discuss that more during discussion. But if you want to know the undying person in the hut, don't separate from this skin bag here and now. In other words, this pursuit of knowing, whatever this person, this undying person in the hut is, who may correspond to the old man who illuminates forms and their nature. If you want to succeed in that quest, don't separate from this skin bag here and now. The term skin bag is something, it's a trope that is used repeatedly in Zen literature, and I don't really know who used it first. It's used in a variety of ways. It can be used as kind of a disparagement of our physical bodies. I don't think that's the way Chateau is using it here. I think the skin bag just highlights our materiality, our human frailty and limitation. Which makes conceptual understanding always limited. And makes the whole truth, in a way, incomprehensible to the mind. So Chateau is, however, telling us that this frail, limited human creature is the instrument through which we can really understand what's going on. that realization involves actualization, that it involves living this life fully, taking care of this body and other bodies with full awareness of human frailty and limitation, but full acceptance of them as well. That actually taking care of this body and this life is the way to realization and peace. So in one way you could say, the play is the thing, and playing our part is the way. So there are several themes that run through this. I think Chiteau is advocating, he's not just jotting down a poem, he's really making a declaration, of advocacy for a way of life. And some of the features of this way of life he's advocating are simplicity, being grounded in the everyday, taking care of it, pursuing that which is true, fully aware and fully accepting our human frailty and the frailty of others. 100 years from now, none of us will be alive. And with rare exception, all of us will be forgotten. Keeping that reality fully in mind puts things in perspective. So there's so much to be said about this poem. I'm going to stop there. And I would be interested in other people's thoughts. I don't, for one moment, pretend to have the ultimate interpretation of this poem, or to offer that to you. It's just some thoughts that came up, and I'm wondering what thoughts come up as you consider these lines. Just what associations are there? So I think we'll break up into groups at this point, and we'll reconvene in a few moments.